history of American swimming glory, there is one little-known performance that perhaps stands above the rest for courage and the ability to endure. This is Jeff Farrell, a real estate executive from Montecito, California. In the spring of 1960, Farrell was a lieutenant assigned to a Navy program at Yale University that would permit him to train for the swimming team to compete later that summer in Rome. Leading to the Olympic trials, Farrell astounded the swimming world by winning both the 100 and 220-yard national AAU championships in record times. It was then predicted that Farrell would win 3 gold medals in Rome, in the 100-meter freestyle and as anchor on 2 relay teams. Farrell looked forward to the Olympic trials in Detroit. But 6 days before the Olympic trials, at 3 a.m. in the morning, Jeff Farrell awoke with excruciating stomach pain. He was rushed to the hospital by his coach, Bob Kippeth.
When we got to the hospital, we rolled into the emergency room. There was a very fast diagnosis that I indeed had acute appendicitis and that they were going to have to operate. And I remember asking the doctor who was examining me, how long would it be before I'd be able to swim again? He said, it'll be about 6 weeks.
Newspaper stories headline the news that Jeff Farrell had lost his opportunity at winning a gold medal.
There was a lot of commiseration. Everybody was saying, gee, it's too bad, and I started getting telegrams. But on about the second or third day, I noticed that Bob Kippeth was talking to the doctor. Then Bob came over to me and said, the doctor says that he thinks you could probably do some exercising if you wanted. Well, there was a pool in the basement of the hospital. The nurses had a recreational pool there. So after we did some physical therapy in the room, it was evident that I had some flexibility and that it might be possible to go in the water, so we tried going in the water, and that was very painful. And each day there was considerable progress. And by about the 4th or 5th day, it was actually easier to swim than to walk.
After 5 days of therapy, Jeff Farrell makes a momentous decision. With only a white plastic bandage protecting the stitches, he will try to become one of the 2 Americans to swim the 100-meter freestyle in Rome.
When the U.S. Olympic Swimming Committee heard that I was going to try to swim in the trials, they did their best to discourage me because they felt they could not give me another chance later. I felt that giving me another chance later didn't make sense. It wasn't fair to the other swimmers. I wanted to swim the 100-meter freestyle. And when my first race was called, the preliminary heat, they announced my name, and as I was walking over to the starting block, I think it was the head of the Olympic Swimming Committee, caught me on the way and said, Jeff, would you mind signing this? And he handed me a piece of paper, which was a hold harmless, that I wouldn't sue the Olympic Committee or the pool or meet organizers if anything happened to me. I thought their sense of timing was a little awkward.
With great courage, Jeff Farrell made it past the qualifying and semifinal heats. But fate was against him in the final. He finished 3rd, failing to make the team by 1/10 of a second. But he had one more opportunity. The first 6 finishers in the 200 meters would be considered for the relays in Rome.
I knew that I was capable of swimming almost as well as a week before I'd had the appendicitis. So I wasn't that concerned. I didn't want to take it out too hard, and I was successful in my strategy. I finished 4th, and that was all I needed. I just needed to finish in the first 6 in order to make the team.
The climax to this incredible story took place a few weeks later in Rome. Lieutenant Jeff Farrell had been selected to swim the anchor leg on both relay teams. Here in the 4x100 medley, Farrell increases the United States lead with every stroke. He touches the wall. Americans have broken the world record. A half hour after the medley victory, Farrell would swim the anchor leg in the 4x200-meter freestyle relay. Incredibly, another world record. To Jeff Farrell, the Olympics is the fulfillment of a dream. the never-ending quest to achieve greatness.
The Olympics are important because of the past Olympics, because of everything that's happened, the great stories, the Jesse Owens, Jim Thorpe's, and to be the best, the fastest swimmer in the world with an Olympic gold medal has always been more meaningful than the world record without an Olympic gold medal.
Now, these many years later, Jeff Farrell can reflect on all that took place, the fulfillment of the Olympic philosophy, the words, "There are no great people, rather there are great challenges that ordinary people are forced to meet."